I don't know how rivalries start.
In the air to deep right field.
To overstay at home plate, I just took exception to that.
Oh, we got some chirping going on. Going back, Bellinger. Leaps, and he made the grab.
Temper's flaring.
When he hit his home run, he threw the bat, and we take one away, we can celebrate too.
Magic.
Two really good teams don't like each other. That's what baseball should be.
Oh, they're going to tie, and now we're going to fight.
Padres got better. I think we got better, and it should be a fun one.
This season series is off to a bang.
Oh yeah, the best of the West landing on ESPN tonight, and we are getting you set for all the action. You're looking at Dodger Stadium in beautiful Los Angeles as the Padres and Dodgers finish off their 4-game series tonight. Of course, Fernando Tatis Jr. looking to stay red hot, back-to-back 2-homer games in this series. Meanwhile, Mookie Betts and the Dodgers looking to split the series. As we welcome you into Baseball Tonight Live, presented by MLB, the Show 21. Rated E for everyone. June Lee, Tony Collins. June, how are you, my friend?
I'm great.
Yes.
Thank you for guest hosting.
I am so excited because we also have Clint Yates out in the West Coast. What's up, Clint? How we feeling?
Glad you're here. You know, we got a new person to the stable. This is going to be fun. I'm glad.
Yeah. You know, you got me to call to the bullpen, and here I am. You know, guys, this is the 7th game between the Dodgers and Padres, and it has given us plethora of wonderful moments, of exciting moments, of drama. So I want to get your guys' favorite moments. We'll start with you, June.
Fernando Tatis Jr. I feel like this show could be renamed FT Junior Live because of how much we talk about him here. But 4 homers in 2 games. He has looked like the superstar that we expected him to look like at the beginning of the season. Obviously, he was dealing with a shoulder issue at the start of the season. But he looks like Fernando Tatis Jr. again. I do want to call out our producer, Kenny, because on our conference call on Friday, the original question for this segment was, is Fernando Tatis Jr. okay? Should we be worried about him? In the last 2 days, he proved that he's just fine. So that's, I think, where we're at with Fernando Tatis Jr.
Quinn, what's your favorite moment so far between these two teams?
We're going to stick with exactly that theme, and we're going to go to the celebrations my man has after hitting said yams. Okay, first time around he comes. Those of you might remember that earlier in the season, spring training, Trevor Bauer said he was pitching with one eye closed just to work on some things. Tatis took him out twice, comes around the bags, and does this one eye closed open thing to remind him that that was nonsense from the beginning, and everybody knew it. He went yam a second time, and then he decided to bat flip. He did the, what's his name, Conor McGregor walk. I mean, listen, everything about what Fernando Tatis Jr. brings to the game is just fun, and he's good enough to back it up. We love this. Even Trevor Bauer loved it, so that's good.
Yeah, and to your point, Trevor Bauer has had no issues with Tatis celebration. He talked about it today. Take a listen.
If you give up a homer, a guy should celebrate it. You know, it's hard to hit in the big leagues. So I'm all for it. And I think it's important that, you know, the game moves in that direction and we stop throwing at people because they celebrated having some success on the field.
So both of these guys talked the talk, walked the walk, and then they took it to social media. Trevor Bauer tweeting, if you need to know what pitch is coming that badly, just ask Daddy nicely next time, Tatis Jr. You know I ain't scared, homie. To what Fernando Tatis Jr. replied, tranquilo, hijo, which means calm down, my son. So you guys love this. Tell me, it doesn't get any better than this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is what baseball is going to grow into over the course of the next decade or so. I wrote a piece recently for ESPN.com about the evolution of the unwritten rules, and obviously Fernando Tatis Jr. is right in the center of that. He is single-handedly, I think, and with a bunch of other guys as well, but he's playing a huge role in pushing forward kind of the culture of this game. Just having a guy who's willing to tweet out a Photoshop like that feels more like something you would have seen in the NBA over the course of the last decade. It's not something you would have seen in baseball at all. So the fact that this kind of stuff is even happening, that this kind of beef is rolling over into social media, and I think everyone is having fun with it and in on the joke, is just great for the sport, I think, as a whole.
Clinton, you like it?
I love it. I think that also one of the things that June touched on in his story, which was fantastic, is that what we're getting now is we get guys just being themselves. And that's all you can really ask for. Not everybody has to be some wacko who's yelling at everybody or somebody who's so silent that we're forced to pay attention to them. Guys are just chirping the way they normally do on a field, on a practice field, in the batter's box, in the dugout. on social media, and that garners attention. There is nothing wrong with that at all. As for the celebrations, I mean, look, those are great. You look at every single level of baseball that is below the big leagues. We're talking about college, we're talking about internationally, whether we're talking about even in high school at the amateur level, guys are getting around the bags and celebrating it because that's a fun thing to do. This needs to trickle up. Everybody likes it more. And Tatis, and as well as Bauer, I think they exemplify what it is to be a competitor in the big leagues, and that is awesome as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I think just to build off of Clinton's point too, like the authenticity aspect of this, I think is what's really starting to come out in baseball right now. You're seeing guys who are willing to kind of put themselves out there, put their full personalities out there. And that being said, it doesn't mean that everyone has to kind of lean into this, WWE soap operatic aspect of the sport. It means that if you are a grumpy guy who wants to push back against the unwritten rules, you're allowed to do that. But at the same time, we're seeing this entire generation of young players right now who are willing to push the boundaries, willing to put their personalities out there, willing to start beefs because this is fun. This is sports. This is not, we're not in a classroom getting graded and we're trying to have fun here. This is guys willing to put their personalities out there, have fun, put out weird photoshops and just kind of lean into the fact that at the end of the day, these are grown adults playing a kid's game.
And that's what's changing the game, I think, and moving it forward, having fun, something as simple as that. Now, I'm going to go back to my favorite moment from this whole Dodgers-Padres series to last Saturday. And you know what? They say football is a game of inches. Baseball is a game of centimeters. The Mookie Betts catch, come on. I mean, he is showing us why he's a 5-time Gold Glover, making the game-saving catch, big-time play from a big-time player. And he's just one of the best and clutch in the moments. I mean, Andrew Pham had other plans, and Mookie Betts was there. And I think he said after the game in an interview that he totally blacked out. He only realized he caught the ball because he heard the people screaming.
Yeah, I think this is just one of those classic Mookie Betts moments.
Do you miss him when you're
I definitely do miss watching Mookie on a night-to-night basis because he's a guy that makes these enormous plays on a night-to-night basis, whether it's on the base pass, whether it's at the plate or in the field. He's a guy that does it all on a night-to-night basis, and it makes him one of the most dynamic athletes, I think, in sports across the board.
You see him up there beating his chest. That means it matters, okay? The emotion is there on a basic level, Tony. I'm with you. If you don't like that, that means that you don't like Major League Baseball.
And you know what's crazy about this, guys? It's April. It's not October. This feels like October right now. And that leads me to this. So many people are saying, oh my gosh, is this the greatest rivalry in sports? Well, I want to know what you guys think. Is this the greatest rivalry in American sports right now, Jude?
I wouldn't call it the greatest, but I think you have to put in the discussion. Obviously, there isn't this history that you have between a team like the Yankees and the Red Sox. But these are the two best teams, two of the best teams in the sport right now. You have the big brother, little brother dynamic between the two cities, between Los Angeles and San Diego. And at the end of the day, when the Padres went out and got Blake Snell this offseason, when they went out and got Yu Darvish this offseason, the Dodgers felt the need to respond by going out and paying a lot of money to Trevor Bauer and making him one of the highest paid athletes in professional sports. The fact that these two teams are so well aware of what one another are doing off the field and then bringing all this emotion on the field at the beginning of the regular season, I think just goes to show that both of these teams are incredibly invested in each other's success. And I think just moving forward, when we see them in the postseason, I hope to see an NLCS between these two teams. It's going to be an emotional ride and is just so fun to watch because of the star power on both sides here.
Clinton, is this the best rivalry in American sports, in your opinion?
I mean, right now, as far as I'm concerned, there's two teams I want to watch play against each other, and that would be the Pods and the Dodds. Every single game in this series the season, should be nationally televised, okay? Don't let arrogant, insecure Dodger fans fool you. The objects in the NL West mirror are closer than they appear, and the Padres are trying to run the Dodgers off the road. The reason why that's important is because, this is good for baseball, okay? Never mind just something for Dodgers fans to talk about. If the best team you've got to deal with is in your division and geographically close and can win a couple games and is motivated, evidenced by the fact that people are jumping out of dugouts to chirp about missed check swings, yo, this is what we're here for. I mean, I don't know of anything better that I'm trying to watch, just as a fan of the game and a fan of sports overall. I love this. These guys are all invested. They know what it's about. And yeah, the NL West, it's officially, I would say on some level, up for grabs. It doesn't mean that the Padres are some great organization. Historically, we know that. But they're right there right now, and it's a fun one.
And to your guys' point, to point to June's and Clinton's points here, you know how people say, oh, baseball's not fun, it's boring. But you know what? Get your kids, get them watching these games because they are fun. They got everything, and both teams giving it all in April, which is pretty much fun. All right, we're going to have much more for you here on Baseball Tonight Live. We spoke about these earlier, and you got to check out these numbers before and after his IL stint. He is on fire, leading the league in homers since April 16th. All right, it is time now for the Way Too Early Awards presented by MLB The Show 21. Available on PlayStation and Xbox, rated E for everyone. And we're only a couple of weeks into the season, but we've already seen outstanding performances in June. We're going to start with you and the AL MVP.
All right, so my guy is Chicago White Sox catcher Yermin Mercedes. He started the season 8 for 8, which was an MLB record. He is leading baseball right now with a .414 average, 4 homers, 15 RBIs. Also, snuck into a game earlier this year as a position player pitching on the mound. So I don't expect Mercedes to necessarily be in this conversation as we move forward in the season, but he's been one of the most fun players to watch so far this year, has been an offensive threat for the upstart Chicago White Sox, obviously a favorite of this program. So that is my guy, Yermin Mercedes, for AL MVP so far.
Clinton, who do you got for NL MVP?
My guy is Atlanta's Ronald Acuna Jr. Listen, electricity is the name of the game with him. You see the speed on the base pass, you see how hard he hits the ball, and he does something that is very important that people don't remember all the time. He scores runs. The best run scorer on a team is typically the best player on the team, and Acuna is the guy that you would pay to see and gives you the production. We love Ronald Acuna Jr. in this household.
I love it. I love it. All right, June, AL Cy Young.
All right, so it's my guy, Tyler Glasnow. He's coming in hot this year. He added a pitch in the offseason, a slider that has kind of expanded his repertoire. Is a really, really good slider, too. 2-1, 2.05 ERA, 46 strikeouts so far this year. He's really filling in the gap with the departure of Charlie Morton to the Braves and Blake Snell to the San Diego Padres. He is the top anchor of that rotation. Also, part of that Chris Archer trade, he was kind of the centerpiece with Austin Meadows. And Chris Archer is back with the Rays now, so those guys are all teammates. So Tyler Glasnow is my AL Cy Young Award winner.
Clinton, what about NL Cy Young? Give it to us.
This has to be Jacob deGrom. This guy is a monster. He strikes everybody out. There's nothing much more that you could ask for. Look, the Mets are a team that thought they were doing some stuff this year. He might win 5 total games and end up winning the Cy Young. It's fantastic. This guy really can throw. If you want to see somebody who knows how to pitch in the big leagues, check out Jacob deGrom.
Indeed, indeed. Now let's go to the AL Rookie of the Year, and I'll start with you, June.
I'm going with Chicago White Sox flamethrower Michael Kopech. Had a great day on the mound in the second start of the season. 5 innings, 87 pitches, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts on 15 outs total in the game. 2/3 of those outs coming on strikeouts. Is coming off of Tommy John surgery. He was one of the centerpieces alongside Yoel Moncada in that Chris Sale trade that sent Chris Sale to the Boston Red Sox. He's starting to make his mark in major leagues. Has an immense amount of potential. I think can be a really big factor for that Chicago White Sox rotation as we move forward. Not just this year, but the years down the road.
Okay. And what about NL Rookie of the Year, Clinton?
No, not only is he my NL Rookie of the Year right now, he's got the best hair in the business, Jazz Chisholm. He's out there playing short for the Marlins. We can name people on the Marlins, y'all. Get off our backs. He's got power. He can get around the bags. He's got a fun glove. If you want to see, once again, somebody who makes the game fun, Jazz Chisholm is one of those guys. Bahamian, he learned how to play baseball from his grandmother, who was on the Bahamian national softball team. Get at me. Come on now.
I love that. Oh, okay. You guys are going to love this as well because we have an extra award, Best Commercial Appearance, and that is a shout out to our Jeff Passan for his cameo. Oh yeah, in MLB The Show 21. Look at that movie star.
Look at this. Jeff's out there wearing a tie in the clubhouse, getting his dap on. We all know Jeff is one of the best reporters in the business and a friend of ours. June, I know you love this.
Yeah, Jeff, I was talking to Jeff about this the other day, and he was disappointed in his dap performance. So I just wanted to point that out as well.
When we grew up, we want to be like Jeff. All right, guys, a reminder, look at the fans. They're getting in there. Yes, Padres, Dodgers, top of the hour on ESPN and the ESPN app. Remember to sign into your cable provider to watch all the action tonight. Now, continuing the trend of fantastic videos, we traveled around the world of baseball to bring you what we think was the funniest moments this week. So we're going to start with June. What do you got?
My favorite clip of the week. I know that we've seen dog days at minor league stadiums, but I don't think I've ever seen a therapy bunny at a Major League Baseball game before.
Aww.
This is Alex. 4.5-month-old therapy bunny was spotted at the Giants game, on Thursday. And according to to the owner Kai, Alex has been to a NASCAR event. He's been snow tubing, kayaking in Tahoe, and is a Lions Club ambassador. This bunny, I think, has done more in the last 4 months than I have done in this last entire year combined during this pandemic. And I feel like we need to just generally see more therapy animals / bunnies at baseball games.
Clinton, what do you got? How are you going to beat that one?
I was going to say, there's no beating that one because I love that bunny, and that's fantastic. But I'm going to go a little bit more to the actual baseball. And this is somebody we've talked about all the time again, Fernando Tatis. But he was bested by my homie, Devin Williams, the airbender. I mean, look at this cambio. Ha! One. All right, have some of that. Tatis is looking around like, what on earth just came at me? Number two, whoop, terrible emergency hack. Can't even deal with it. Again, the changeup is from another planet with Devin Williams, and then he strikes him out on another one. He throws him 3 straight in a row, and Tatis is just standing there like, you got to be joking me. Listen, I wrote a column about Devin Williams. He's one of the guys that we like. His struggles to get back to the big leagues after he had Tommy John surgery and was sort of, feeling like he'd kind of lost it a little bit. That guy throws gas, never mind his off-speed stuff. That was the performance between 2 of the best guys in the bigs, and it was fun to watch.
Oh, man, I feel like a loser now because my video is this. I'm a fatty boom baddie. It was a fan losing his nachos and I think his drink in front of his kid. But yeah, Reto Eugenio Suarez belts his homer. But please look at my boy going for the ball. That just hurt me. Like, he loses the nachos and then, face plants. Oh, there's no drink. At least there wasn't a drink there. And then his son was watching, so I thought it was kind of funny. But
terrible fundamentals on that, June. The footwork on the infield is not what we teach in this baseball program. Come on, man. You got to clear the hands. That was just not good. Unfortunately.
Also, if you're going to lose your nachos in pursuit of a home run ball, you should be using your nacho pan to try to catch the ball.
There we go.
Because then it makes it worth it, rather than just like falling off in the side.
Right. Agreed.
Duly noted. And we have actually an extra bonus video. This one was awesome to see. So it was a fan's first baseball game ever. In Arizona, right fielder Cole Calhoun, he's right there. The fan catches the ball. I first thought, oh my gosh, Calhoun's going to be so pissed. But he wasn't actually, because the kid was behind the net. He didn't extend to his side. And that's pretty cool. He gave him props afterwards. Great catch. That was his first game ever. And he caught that ball. And then Calhoun, actually, they were on SportsCenter. They were talking about it. And he wasn't mad. I thought, oh my gosh.
I love how casual
amazing.
It was. I love how casual.
Yeah, dude, have you seen that before?
No, I've never seen that.
Where a kid just catches that was
so
fantastic.
He just reaches up and catches the ball, and then you get a fist bump. That's like, I feel like has to be, GOAT level best first baseball game ever story that you could ever tell.
Easily. He did the little toss to himself like he was just playing catch in the backyard. Like, oh yeah, snagged it. Thanks. All right, we'll be on our way. Like, that was fantastic, man. And good job out of you.
Apparently, he got TikTok famous for that, so it's 2021, guys. All right, we're getting, as we said, closer and closer to the game, and you guys had a chance to talk to Blake Snell. So check this out.
It is Blake Snell on the mound, the 2018 Cy Young Award winner. A back-to-back days to start the day for Blake Snell. That is strike 3. Swing and a miss. Making 7 strikeouts for Snell.
It's a great day to be a Padre. Let's go.
All right, so we're back with San Diego Padres pitcher Blake Snell. Blake, welcome to the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Just to start off, obviously the big trade, the big move this offseason. How are you liking San Diego so far? Just early part of the season.
Yeah, it's been something to get used to. I like it a lot. I like the energy here. I like the fan base, the teammates. I've been getting a lot more comfortable a lot sooner than I thought. I thought it would take a lot of time. But the fan base has been amazing. I know when we played LA for the first series at home, The energy, it did feel like a postseason game, all three of them. And it was good baseball games. I know we only won one, but it was fun to be a part of and fun to, see how the teams would compete against each other. And
tell us a little bit more about that. I mean, I know people are sort of having fun with you and Trevor Bauer talking about what's going on the mound, getting down with your foot, but there's a lot of people looking at San Diego versus LA as kind of the present of what Major League Baseball is supposed to be in terms of rivalries. What does that feel like as a member of the team, knowing folks got their eyeballs on that series in SoCal every time y'all play?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I love it. I love the rivalry. I love that the energy is the way it is. I love that the teams even, push the energy as well. Because I know when Profar swung and hit the catcher's glove, that little scuffle, Mateo getting hit, that scuff, I like that. It's good energy. It's fun. The fans love it. I mean, everyone really loves it. It makes the game even more intense, which is amazing.
So just to rewind a little bit for folks who might not know, Blake, there was a press conference where Blake was talking about, Trevor Bauer digging into the mound. He responded on Twitter with, "It was your toe that dug that hole, homie."
I'm not lying. That man he dug, like I said, a crater. It really was. He can't blame that on me because my heel was literally in the ground, which means that's where his toe is. So I'm not hearing it, Bauer. Nope, you ain't fooling me. You can tweet at me, all that. Nope.
What's that back and forth? Is a rivalry brewing there on social media?
Well, he was trying to get it brewing on Twitter, and I'm not I heard about that from my teammates, and I was like, I ain't doing that. And then I'm not going back and forth on Twitter. And then I said, I'll see him when we get to LA, and I'm gonna be like, we'll talk about it. But I mean, that mound on a day game, from what I've heard, after the fact, it gets that way, but I'm not hearing about third inning. My foot was killing me. That's on him. He ain't pointing the finger this way.
You are one of the more active players on social media, especially on Twitch. And I feel like Twitch as a general platform allows people to just kind of create a more intimate relationship with their audience and their fans. What have been some of the more interesting fan interactions that you've had on Twitch over the course of the last couple of years?
I mean, my favorite is when people say I suck. That's my favorite. I love it. Because I used to have this poster. My teammate made this poster when I won the Cy Young. So I wouldn't even say anything. They'd be like, I suck. I just moved the camera and pointed at that. And it would just be like my Cy Young stats. And then I'd point at that, and it'd be like, do I still suck? All right, one more time. And I don't mess with it like that.
I think one of the reasons why people like what you bring to the table is exactly what you're talking about. You also talk like a normal person. You know what I'm saying? You like sneakers, video games, and all that. What about you specifically do you think makes it easier for you to be that way as opposed to some guys who probably aren't as comfortable? You talked about the fan side, but from the player side, showing who they really are.
I honestly think playing for Tampa is what allowed me to slowly develop into, who I wanted to be. Honestly, I feel like there was never any guys that had egos or anything like that I was around. They're all just really cool, relaxed, chill people. And then when I got to the big leagues, that's just how it was. You just talk to people, you were nice, respectful, and you were who you were, be you. So as I started to grow with the game and become more of a matured player, I started to realize what I wanted to be and what I didn't want to be. And a lot of that was rooted in Tampa. So I think that's a big reason why I've become the player and person I am today. And I think that's why I've been, cool with fans and open to fans and wanting to talk to fans because I just understand, what they mean.
Apparently you're out here mashing now, getting base hits that's something to do. Tell me about that, number one. And number two, tell me something about some of the guys on your team who you like from a baseball standpoint and what they bring to the game as players, not just personalities off the field.
Yeah, first I'm going to start with hype me up. I like that energy. I came ready to swing the bat. So I was happy to get that first knock out of the way. I was kind of scared because I was like, damn, if we go DH this year, I never got a hit in the big leagues. So I'm happy I was able to get that off my chest. I'm lucky to play in San Diego because there's so much fun players around me to watch. The starting staff, I was looking at the starting staff's disgusting. and it's fun to watch those guys work every day. Especially, I mean, Jotham and Noto, like I ain't been a part of that, so that was very exciting for me. And then, you know, Hosmer, Machado, Tatis, those guys, big names, fun to watch. But this team all around is really just a lot of fun.
Fernando Tatis is obviously just like one of the biggest names in the sport now. What has been something that you've been surprised about now that you're around him every single day that you didn't know? Or do you have any good Fernando Tatis stories?
I don't have any good stories yet. There hasn't been a lot of, you know, we only had one road trip. This is our second one. So we got to get like halfway through the season. So, I start to see everything about the guy. But the thing that surprised me, he's quiet. He's not even like, he's quiet. He just chills. I thought when you watch him on TV, you're like, oh, this guy's crazy. And then you get in the clubhouse with him, you watch him, you're like, you gonna say anything? Like, he's just chilling.
Blake, thanks so much for the time.
My man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Good luck tomorrow. Appreciate you.
You guys are so chill. We love it. All right, you're watching Dustin May on your screen. Big Red looking to redeem himself from his last start against the Mariners, starting tonight for the Dodgers. Padres-Dodgers at the top of the hour on ESPN and the ESPN app as both teams play their 7th game against each other in 10 days. It's been a pretty even series so far. Take a look at these stats. Both teams have 3 wins. Surprisingly, the Padres starters have a better ERA than the vaunted Dodgers starting staff. We are back here in Studio A in Bristol, Connecticut. June Lee, Tony Collins, Clinton is in California. Baseball Tonight Live is presented by MLB The Show 21, rated E for everyone. So we're going to dig in deeper to the game about to start. And I'm just curious, June, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to seeing, obviously, Fernando Tatis Jr., which is the easy cop-out answer, but also just continuing to see how this Dodger team bounces back after losing a bunch of games. I've said this before on the show that I think this Dodgers team has the potential to be one of the greatest regular season teams ever, and they have the ability, as those stats that Tony just read show, to win in so many different ways. The thing with Dustin May that I think is fascinating is that he won that job at the end of the rotation. And David Price, who has been one of the best pitchers in baseball in the past, is now in the bullpen, which I think...
That's crazy.
It just shows how much depth this Dodgers team has. Like, they could lose maybe like 3 or 4 of their best players, and they could still be one of the best teams in baseball from a talent perspective. I think, between this kind of brewing rivalry we have with the Padres and the Dodgers this year, as good as the Dodgers look to be in this regular season, I think that once we do get to the postseason, anything can happen, and it will be really fascinating to see whether or not the Padres are going to be able to kind of put their exclamation point and put their kind of stamp in the ground and say, like, we are a force to be reckoned with by really besting the Dodgers in this series.
Clinton, what are you looking forward to?
I think June touched on it a little bit, which is that the depth of the Dodgers is amazing. And one of the guys coming back to the starting lineup tonight is Chris Taylor. Look, he had a pinch hit bomb. He hit well. But when he's back in the lineup, this team is different. He's one of those many players that Los Angeles has that can kind of do everything, And when he finds his way into the lineup, you know that this team is better. So there's that element. The second factor is in the bullpen, which you guys mentioned. Kenley Jansen pitched last night. He threw pretty well, but his pitch count got up a little high. He won't be available today, according to manager Dave Roberts. So we'll see what they do late game because they needed him yesterday. You got to save in a situation in which you had to have him. And Blake Treinen's thrown well, but we'll see what they do on the back end if it comes down to another tight one at the end of this game.
Very well. It's exciting. I mean, it's been everything that we've wanted to see in a baseball series, hasn't it, guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's just 2 of the most exciting teams in baseball. I feel like their uniforms kind of speak kind of metaphorically towards entire series. Dodgers are the established classics, right? The Padres have these new yellow, brown, new school uniforms. So we're seeing this kind of culture clash happening that I think it's just so exciting and good for the sport.
Last thoughts,
June, you're stepping into my wheelhouse here. I love that. The uniform talk, absolutely. This is great. I mean, again, if you think that the Dodgers and the Padres aren't rivals, why would you want to do that? This is good for the game. They're 2 very good teams. This isn't just happenstance because they're both in SoCal. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get down to San Diego to see as many games as I can because that's how important this is. We love this, man. This is going to be fantastic. I'm very, very much looking forward to it.
Well, as we mentioned, the Best of the West landing here on ESPN. Thank you, Clinton, so much for the insight, for having fun with us. June, thank you as well. And we hope you enjoyed this preview show. Now, remember, the game starts at the top of the hour on ESPN, and you can also watch it wherever you may be on the ESPN app. And make sure to log into your provider so you do not miss any of the action. Thank you for watching Baseball Tonight Live, MLB The Show 21, presented, of course, and rated for everyone. Thank you.